Hello again guys, it's me Chris. I welcome you all here in KMich, a channel that usually is out there to enlighten you on various tech that I usually come across. So I cannot say that I specify in all tech. So back to business. Today will be part 2 of my SweetCakes video that I actually did a while back. It is for all of you who don't know SweetCakes is, it's my new desktop PC. But I'm actually glad that it came to be. It's a project that I thought it wouldn't be. So if you all want to review that video, I only want to talk much about it since you can all have a look at the video by looking at the link down below. And yeah, I think that one will be set for now. So today's business will be only a brief, or not so, more so it will be a, how will I put it? It will be an explanation on how my machine is currently performing. So for starters, so today I'll be using a Samsung tablet for my various reference. I cannot memorize everything. I have a problem with memory, so bear in mind my kind of clumsiness, however way you may put it. So let's kick off. So like for starters, it's a HP Compaq dc7800 convertible mini tower. It's rocking an Intel Core 2 Duo E8400 clocked at 3 GHz, as you can all see, which is codenamed Wolfdale. Maximum TDP of 6.0 watts, which is resting on a socket 775 LGA. I think that will be all for about the processor part. As you can also all see, at maximum utilization it performs outstandingly well. Bearing in mind the workload I was actually doing on my Intel Celeron a while back, whereby I was rendering my Adobe Premiere videos, even Adobe After Effects. It was kind of a huge workload for the Celeron, but now that the Core 2 has now stepped in to replace the Celeron, I see beautiful performance from it. So as you can all see, at maximum utilization it performs at a maximum temp of 46 degrees Celsius, and at minimum utilization it idles at 37 degrees Celsius. That's relatively good, bearing in mind the kind of workload that Adobe Premiere gives to the processor. Rendering is actually a huge task, whereby it matters about the frames per second, and also which is brought about by the resolution that you're using to render with. So enough about the processor. I think everything is self-explanatory on the picture. So back into the details. So for starters, actually not for starters, it will be for what? Just for continuation. As we can see from what now? Actually guys, today I did not make an effort of trying to prepare this video in much more task. So let me explain it by what I know. One, it has a 2 GB DDR2 RAM. Actually not 2 GB. I started with 2 GB DDR2 RAM, but now it's 4 gigs of DDR2 RAM. E60, it's the 6400. It's PC what? Actually, it's the PC2 6400 RAM, which is actually it's the highest available speed in that category. So that is actually supported on my machine. Currently doesn't have a graphics card, but I'll be soon be thinking of using this baby, and it's an NVIDIA GeForce GT710, 2 gigs of memory, graphics memory, supports up to DirectX 12. I think I don't know much about it since I don't have actually with it in my hand, so that one will be a talk for another day. So next, so currently I'm using integrated graphics. It's Intel GMA 3000 graphics system, which is being powered by my chipset. It's an Intel Q45. Is that Q? No, not Q45 actually. It's an Intel 845/835. I'm not sure about that, but from what I have been doing some bit of research on my machine, that's what I came to find that it actually uses. Audio, it's the usual. It's powered by SoundMax, not Realtek. Since it's quite a surprise coming to note that the desktops I've been coming across, I've been using SoundMax, Dell, HP, even I think Acer and Mesa. They've been using SoundMax to power up their audio, which also in turn I've actually connected into my sound system that I was using previously with my Toshiba C850. Another thing is I also added this, which is an Intel, not actually an Intel, it's a HP 22-in-1 media card reader, which actually supports standard SD, micro SD, compact flash, the camera memory stick, and also has one extra USB port for me, which actually means in the front I/O of my PC I actually have 3 ports, which also comes to the conclusion that now that I have extra ports, I have now extra things to connect to it. Since the back I/O I filled it up with a keyboard, it's a USB keyboard, regular. I've also hooked up a clipped wireless mouse, and also my printer. It's an Epson stylus 8300. One extra USB port has been brought to the front by an USB extension. I think also now that that's filled up the USB ports, actually I'm left with 2 at the back. The PS2 ports I haven't utilized anything since actually who uses PS2 nowadays? I don't think I will be using a PS2 port anytime soon, not unless it comes to be a substitute of my USB keyboard and my mouse. Actually I think I won't be using a PS2 port anymore. So I think now I can come to my references. I see what we have installed here. Just once. Ladies and gentlemen, this ain't my tablet. If the owner was to find out, I'm actually dead. Or is it screwed, as you may put it? Well, but it's for the better good. What can I do? Okay, as I all said, I didn't kind of memorize whatever my PC has, but I have a kind of a hint about it. So as I said, as from what I'm reading from the manual, actually, by the guys, download manuals for your products, be it your phone, be it your laptop, be it your desktop. As from, like in my case, I have every manual for every device I hold. Like for starters, this I have the manual for this. I have the manual for my phone. I have the manual for my 19-inch TFT or my 18-inch monitor. I have even manual for my mouse, my keyboard, even my printer, my sound system, also my computer itself. Even the media card reader also has a manual. My processor has a manual, so as to get a clear understanding of what you're having. Even my laptop also has a manual. So as I said, guys, it's an Intel processor in an LGA775 socket T package. Integrated graphics controller. As I said, also the PC26400 RAM. That's what I'm currently using, DDR2. It also has a 320 gig Seagate hard drive with speeds of 6 gigs per second, which conclusively you can all feel for yourselves. It has more transfer speed, as maybe for example in my case I have a Seagate external hard drive. So when Seagate to Seagate, the external hard drive has speeds of 6 gigs. At the same time also my internal hard drive has speed of 6 gigs. So meaning speeds can even go to up to 53 gigs per second. Continuing, 8 USB ports, which is inclusive of the 6 that I found at the back IO, and the 2 which I found at, well, actually the back is 6, 2 is front. Now also plus my extra one found in my media card reader, it comes now to a total of 9 USB ports. I actually have a lot of use with the USB ports. Okay, high definition audio processor with one headphone out, at least one microphone, one line output, and one line input. Meaning at the front there is 2 audio jack holes, one for the microphone, one for the headphones. At the back there is a line out and line in, which serves as multi-purpose. Okay, network interface controller, which is an Intel Pro Gigabit 10/100/1000 base TIT support, plug and play compatible, which means actually no installation required once you plug your device. Once there's no need of installing drivers. Maybe the driver that you need just to install is maybe graphics, sound, also sound itself. Bear in mind, actually it rocks, and it's rocking Windows 10. Windows 10, actually Windows 8, 8.1 and 10 have the tendency of generating its own basic drivers from Microsoft, which actually comes in handy, so that you come to know if you are maybe a certain part of your PC is not working once you plug in something. Next, another thing I certainly forgot to mention, being an Intel Core 2 Duo E8400, it's a vPro. It supports vPro technology. What is vPro? That's virtualization in the professional stage. What says here, Intel vPro technology with active management technology 3.0 on selected models. In this case, what it means, virtualization is highly utilized, especially when you are maybe running virtual machines. In my case, I actually do a lot of testing of various applications I download before I actually maybe give it to someone else, or maybe I use it in my machine. I have to try and authenticate if it works well, so as not to crash in my machine and cause some other kind of foolish whatever. I think you all get the idea. Okay, security features. There's a flash ROM boot block, which is found in the BIOS, especially when you're when actually updating your BIOS to the latest version. Like when I got this machine, the BIOS version was 1.04. Currently it's running at latest 1.35, which actually fixed up the microcode setback. Actually, what was it called? It was called a microcode loop. I didn't kind of understand what it meant. Then also there's the memory failure, whereby there was a bit of gapping, especially when you put RAMs of different speeds. Maybe you put a 6400 and a 5300. Maybe in terms of sandwich, like you mix up the RAMs. And also now finally they also added a new support of hard drive configuration, which is a HCI, which is similar to RAID, though RAID actually needs at least 2 drives whereby actually RAID, what it does, it takes 2 hard drives of different amounts. It could be a 160 gig and a 320 gig, or maybe 500 and 250, combines them both, and turns it to be one hard drive, meaning high transfer rates, since it will be all merged into one. 2 hardwares being merged into one complete hardware. I think you can all understand that. There's a floppy drive support, but in my case I didn't go for a floppy drive. In its place I put a media card reader, pound password, another BIOS stuff. Hood card sense, the hood sense. In my case, I don't have a hood sensor, so because the high beeps that it produces, it's actually irritating. PS2 support for keyboard and mouse. Oh, and my power supply, it's an Energy Star 4.080 plus compliant standard on USDT form factors, but in my case it's a convertible form factor, it's a CMT. The power supply in this case, what it means, it's efficient in that come power overload, it's the power supply that will take all the strain, not the motherboard. In some other cases, you use some other generic power supplies. It's instead of the power supply dying, it's the whole system that dies. The motherboard, the hard drive. Even I wonder how the hard drive comes to die because of power. Meaning that power supply was totally rubbish. Okay. Let's see here more about the explaining of the form factors by dimensions, also number of drive pieces. Oh, another thing is I forgot to mention. I have an optical drive. It's a HP. Actually, a HP what? You come to note of the name, but it's a HP DVD burner. Actually, it's the original one that came with the machine. As I said, guys, sometimes back, actually it was last year when I was saying I was planning to build my own machine. I'll be using some various parts that I come across, maybe second hand, others are new. Like in my case, the motherboard is new, the hard drive is new, optical drive is not brand new, it's second hand, but it's still in good shape as from what I observed on it. RAM is new, yeah, and I think also the whole sashi is second hand, but ironically I found a matching one. The serial number on the sashi of the PC is actually matching with what the motherboard is actually requiring. So it's a bit of factory restoration. So I think it can now pass to be sold, since it's everything is that should originally be in this PC is actually present. There's also a diagram that you can all see about the processing machine, which starts from the Intel processor, the brain of the PC, all down to the small parts like the mouse, keyboard. Okay, I also here see, okay, the chipset. I wasn't wrong. It's an Intel Q35 Express chipset that runs my graphics. It's an Intel Graphics Media Accelerator. It's a GMA graphics 3100, which is actually the 3000, 3100 and that 2 are kind of in the same range, meaning the HD graphics won't be observed, but it's almost there. So not much to talk about my chipset. Since also, actually, if I was to explain the whole manual, I'll have to take about maybe 2 hours to explain about this manual. But if you all want to read about this manual, I'll upload it to my Google Drive and share it with you guys. You can also find the links about these manuals down below in the above the comment section under the video. So DDR2-RAM, I already explained it. Mass storage, it's about the hard drives video. It has serial support and parallel support. At the back IO there's a parallel port and serial port. This is actually old school. Parallel I remember parallel was being used for printers. Serial, I think it was mostly used in the CRT monitors, the ones that have the big, they occupied a big space, so I wouldn't want to use that. Like in my case, I'm using a VGA, which is actually current, it's still actually being used up to date. But also I may think of also graduating to HDMI, but I haven't so far found a monitor that can support HDMI, since most that I come across support VGA and DVI. DVI, I'm not a fan of DVI since the cables are very rare and very expensive. We usually here face a huge challenge. You try search for certain part of your to replace to use on your PC, maybe SATA cable, you find it being sold even at 300 Kenyan shillings, which at times is actually it's kind of undermining for we take funds whereby you want to build your own PC at budget price. So you're trying to minimize all the costs as much as possible. Keeping in mind there's also transport, there's also lunch. You have to count your lunch, since I don't think you can carry a whole PC when you're hungry. Maybe even water, some kind of small expenses are usually counted in. Like in my case, I remember, in my case I use kind of a huge amount. I haven't counted yet the hard drive, not the hard drive, the graphics card is soon coming, the Nvidia GeForce. So I really don't know. But once I buy the graphics card, that one will be something that I'll be staying with for some time. Since I won't be thinking of selling it, I wouldn't dare dream of it. Maybe unless I can find a good customer who will be willing to chip in more, so I can maybe profit from it. But I don't find myself selling this PC anytime soon. Since one thing I usually know, first builds are never sold. They are part of museum. Like for instance, the first ever laptop I've ever used was a Toshiba 1415, which actually I came across coincidentally. Was completely broke. It completely broke down on the owner, whereby he decided to let go of it. It was actually a good find, since it is exactly as the one I first used. It was rocking Windows XP, DDR1 RAM. I don't remember the capacity of RAM it was using. It was kind of 2002. It was quite old. That was my milestone of where I started from. My interest on computers started from that laptop. I can't really recall since it was, but it's actually it's coming back. But enough about that. I wouldn't want to talk about that now. We're talking about my current one. There's all these details here. I cannot try and explain about them. But maybe if you all want to read about specifically the HP Compaq dc7800, feel free to browse through the manuals that I'll leave links below. And it also shows various diagrams on how the interface works, audio, like how also the inbuilt speaker, the one based on beep codes, and also it moves a bit of sound. It's not the kind of buzzer that you find on the micro towers. The micro towers have a buzzer. In my case, I have a speaker, a small one, which actually moves quite clear sound, especially when I'm not using my audio system. For all of you who are wondering what audio system I'm using, I'm actually using a regular what? It's a regular amplifier, the ones that people use them in events. Speakers, I actually got some. Actually scavenged some from a dead radio, Sony radio. The radio died, so I had to take some bit of consideration on the speakers. Try to put them into good use. There were four hi-fi speakers, so I linked them all into the amplifier. and the amount of bass that I actually received from it. It's worth a crack in one skull. I'm not good at explaining what these things, how they are, the audio part, but you can all get an idea about it. So guys, I think in this manual, I think there's nothing much to talk about it. Seems most you all know about it. Like I remember without the manual, when I browsed through the BIOS, there's the system information. Like when I came to read about the Intel the processor that is present, the RAM installed. Actually, that time didn't have a RAM, so RAM I had to search for some to use. There's the flash BIOS utility. There's a disk configuration settings. There's a bus settings whereby you configure the speed of how things are operating in your system. There's VGA, there's USB, there's serial, there's parallel, there's audio, USB. Yeah, I think all those are the ones present. There's also thermal. In this case, actually, I think I saw it in the manual about thermal. Where is it? Yeah, temperature status. The BIOS includes a function INT15AX-E816H to retrieve the status of a system interior temperature. The function allows an application to check whether the temperature situation is at normal, caution, or critical condition. On my first benchmark on this PC, I was running I was running Adobe Premiere and Adobe After Effects. At the same time, I was running Cinebench simultaneously at the same time. It reached a point that the workload was too much for the E8400. So what it did resulted to the smiley face of doom. The smiley face that Windows actually tries to show their humor about, and send it ran into a failure to attempt to restart, and yada yada. Nothing much about it. I usually hate those kind of screens. They're very annoying at times. It shows you how your machine can be useless. But it's not my machine only that has ever displayed that kind of error. For instance, there's a Core i7-5500U, an Intel GeForce 980M. It's a HPNV that I came across. I tried also the same kind of benchmarks when it reached maximum blue screen. There's no machine that doesn't have a blue screen display when it especially when the workload is too much for it. All that rendering, and also I think it's all rendering. Cinebench renders, Adobe After Effects renders, Premiere renders also at the same time. So that kind of workload, even for a human, won't be possible to handle. So this manual also explains the beep code errors that are usually present. That maybe, like for instance, when it blinks red, the LED, power LED blinks red 2 times, processor thermal shutdown, red 3 times, processor not installed, red 4 times, power failure, and so on and so on. So enough about that manual. Let's go to the next manual. So as I said, guys, today will be only talking, no much mechanical stuff. I mean building, since we already built the machine. Where is the map? There's usually a certain map. This is the user manual. User manual has nothing much. I think this is the quick specs manual, explaining various parts and also various form factors. There's a small form factor, there's the USSDT, there's the convertible mini tower, and also explanation. There's one part that actually intrigued me, especially when they say the model key that is usually written on the sticker. Actually the top front part is usually a sticker there. Like in this case is in this manual dc7800s C8/8670/80H+F/W/V4TPK. I'll actually try to write my own model number. Maybe see whatever I can derive from it. Quick specs explained. Like in my case, it's converted to millimeter. It's a 17.6 by 7.0 by 17.8 inches. Factory weight is 26.2 pounds, which is equivalent to 11.89 kilograms. In my case, I think I've added too much, so it will be around 27 pounds. Shipping weight, maximum supported weight. Maximum supported weight is 77 pounds, which is equivalent to 35 kilograms. Standard power supply, it's a 365 watt power supply, energy 4-star, active PFC. 80 plus power supply, it is, qualifies for it. USB 2.0, all the ports are 2.0. Sadly, I don't have any 3.0, but my Toshiba has one 3.0 type C. Serial, parallel, PS2 video, DVI support is also there. Audio, NIC, which is the integrated gigabyte network Ethernet. Chipsets, the Intel Q35 Express chipset. Processor, Intel Core 2 Duo E8400. It's a 3.0 gigahertz, 6 MB L2 cache. It's a 1333 megahertz USB. It's the bus speed present on my processor. Intel V Pro technology present, yeah. Memory DDR2. What else? Actually, there's a lot to explain about these things. A computer it's never satisfactory. A media card reader is present, but in factory it usually comes with a 16-in-1. In my case, I have a 22-in-1. It is actually good. Micro SD support, meaning I cannot. It's not a must. I search for micro SD adapter to use in this thing, which means a win for me. Maybe it could even be a win for someone else. Yeah. Oh, another thing. I have currently when I'm connecting to the internet, I'm usually connecting to Wi-Fi. Here at home, usually connect to Wi-Fi. My dad, my mom, my younger brother, and then me. So we have no kind of internet connection whatsoever. So what end result did I come to? Did I arrive to? I had searched for a D-Link wireless adapter, like the one I'm using is a D-Link DWA520 wireless adapter. Currently I misplaced my antenna, so meaning what? Distance of transmission of Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi reception is minimal, so I have to make the Wi-Fi router to come close to the PC in order to connect to it in an easier way. Monitors mentioned here. Is there one mentioned about currently I'm using a HP Compaq 1901. It's a 19-inch wide monitor. It's an LCD, not a CRT. Okay, but maybe soon I may be thinking of an LED monitor. but that one's for a later time, in the near future, not current future. Software is present, that should be there. Already have them. Yeah, I think there's nothing much. There's the weight of every single component, very ironic, and the dimensions. So guys, I think that will be all for now, but as I said, whatever I've not mentioned, I'll leave the manuals down below, whereby you can use them as reference. And also, from what you've all seen in the various pictures shown, I think that one will be a bit of explanation. As I said, also there's a lot to be done on this PC. Like one, the graphics, I need to upgrade that graphics. Currently I can't do any form of gaming on the integrated graphics, since the dedicated memory on it is it's not satisfactory to my gaming requirements. I need at least 1 gig of gaming dedicated video memory for my gaming. For example, Call of Duty, GTA 5. There's also what, NFS, yeah, and other games, FIFA, such stuff, and also Bioshock, Desert Storm, Battlefield, such stuff. So meaning my graphics is it's really wanting. It ain't satisfactory in my kind of in my needs. So I think that will be all for now. Since I said today we'll be only just talking. I think I've tried my best in explaining about my dc7800, but if you think maybe more could be done about it, feel free to leave comments in the comment section down below. And also don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, though I think maybe, yeah, let me not be too judgy on it. And also don't forget to hit the subscribe button, which is highlighted in red below. It's actually there below, there at the, is it the other end? I don't know what these left or right things are, but I think you can understand. Below there at the end. And yeah, as I said, also don't forget to hit the like button if you like the video, and also stay tuned for more videos that will be coming to here in KMich. Oh, okay, I think that will be all, so I bid you all goodbye.